Toward the Terra is a science fiction anime series set within the distant future after humanity has abandoned Earth. Because let's face it, we kinda wrecked the place. So in this distant future, humanity lives on another planet, allowing Earth to heal and regenerate from everything that people have done to it. So in the meantime, humanity has undergone a process of reform which modifies its DNA, assuring that everyone who's born is very healthy and has the potential to become very smart. This way they can control who gets sent back to Earth, and they can make sure that they can treat the planet properly once they get there. But because of this DNA modification, there is a separate strain of humanity, an evolution, if you will, called the Mu. The Mu have special psychic abilities which allow them to communicate with each other, to read each other's minds, to fly, to teleport, to shoot psychic beams out of their body and destroy things. And because of these psychic abilities, humanity tries to eradicate them. But humans and Mu really aren't that different from each other because they both have that same dream of one day returning to their home planet. But once they get there, will this planet be able to support them both living in peace, or will they destroy each other in the process? So when I first heard about Towards the Terra, it was just from a trailer on one of my other anime DVDs. It looked cool and I liked the theme of it. I wanted something science fiction for a while now, so I picked this up. It was a total blind buy. I didn't read anything into the series before watching it. I went into it completely blind and I loved it. It was exactly what I had been craving for such a long time. If I could compare the story of Toward the Terra to any other type of anime, I'd have to compare it to a Gundam, which sounds pretty strange because there are no mechs in Toward the Terra, but this is the most Gundam-like anime series that I've ever seen that doesn't contain any sort of mech. So I think anyone who enjoys Gundam, or anyone who's a science fiction fan, but maybe they're just not a fan of mechs, would definitely enjoy this series. Now, some of the similarities that I see between the stories is that you have this giant war that's in outer space, and there's a lot of moral gray areas here, and you'll have characters which you don't know which side they're on. You'll have people changing sides, which are something that you would find in a Gundam series. You have a lot of darker elements such as genocide, racism, you will have elements such as cloning, and it really makes me feel like this is a very serious battle in outer space, and people are trying to get back to their home planet, and everyone here is very emotional. A lot of characters die, some survive, some die, and really it reminded me of a Gundam series because of these elements, because those are elements that you would find in many Gundam anime. So despite the fact that I really enjoyed the series, in the beginning when the story was just building up, I felt that it was going to be very cliche, because here we have the main character in episode 1, he finds out that he's a Mu, and it turns out that he's going to be their leader because, surprise, he's the strongest one of them, and he had no idea about it. So that's very cliche, but it really isn't as cliche as it sounds, because he isn't really the main character. The story here is told from many different perspectives. His is one of the major perspectives that we see, but we also find the perspectives here of characters who are human from their side, seeing Mu as the enemy, who, a couple of Jomi's friends. We see plenty of the Mu characters as well. We see it from their perspective. So Jomi, he's one of the main characters, one of the many main characters, but the story just isn't about him completely. So in the beginning of the story, after Jomi realizes that he's a Mu after he was contacted by the Mu leader, Soldier Blue, he uncovers much corruption within the government of the light that he had been living, and he decides to join up with the Mu and lead them on their journey to go back to their home planet, which is now called Terra. So one of the things that I found very interesting within the series are the differences between the humans and the Mu, because they do a great job of balancing out these two races here so that it's just not one side dominating over the other. The Mu, aside from the fact that they have these very powerful psychic abilities, they are physically weak. They're born with very frail and fragile bodies. They are very emotional. Some of them are born with birth defects, and some of them are disabled in certain ways, and they don't age age. They pretty much stay the same age throughout the entirety of the series, and the span of the series goes through many years. Comparing them to the humans don't have these psychic abilities, but they have technology at their side because there are so many humans and they're so smart that they can work on superior technology to fight against the Mu, as where the Mu, they're very small in number, but they have very strong psychic abilities, and I mean very strong. So moving on to the overall presentation of Toward the Terra, I really love the way that this was animated. Of course, it wasn't perfect, and I'll get to some of the flaws in just a moment. The animation here, you could tell the differences between the Mu and the humans, because the humans look like more modern-day anime characters, while the art style of the Mu reminded me of old school manga characters with the big round eyes, and anime characters really never look like that. For the most part, it was just older manga series, and I really appreciated the way that these characters looked. At first, it was kind of strange and threw me off, but I really come to appreciate it. Now, the downside of the animation here is that this uses CGI occasionally. Occasionally, it will use CG, and that is for the spaceships, and for the most part, they do a great job of integrating the CG artwork with the animation here, but there are a few times which it will fall apart, and you could say that this looks kind of awkward and it really looks out of place, but it is rare for you to find a part like that. Personally, I do not like CG in anime, but for the most part within Toward the Terra, I didn't mind it, and it looked pretty good, except for some of the times when you could really notice that it stood out. So moving on to the audio here, the music, I felt did a great job because they added just the right music to the right scenes here, and it really made it feel like you were watching this epic battle in outer space or this grand journey through time. And just watching this, I really liked the openings and the closings to this as well. There are two different openings and closings. I like them both, but I've got a bone to pick about the dubbing here. Here we have the DVD case, which says that it offers an English audio track. It offers an English dub, but in fact it does not. So I feel that this is misleading. It says right here audio English stereo and Japanese stereo, but the DVDs only offer subtitle. And what's even stranger is that I looked this up on YouTube and I found some episodes there that had the English dub. I watched some of it and I can't really say that it was all that great, but that is still false advertisement because the dub is not featured on these DVDs, but it is advertised. So as far as the actual Japanese audio goes, of course, it was amazing. I really liked that, and I didn't mind reading the subtitles because personally I don't mind it, but I think the story is good enough that I think normally people wouldn't mind it anyways. So when I was looking into Toward the Terra, there's more than just the anime series. There's also a manga and there's also a movie as well. I've seen the movie and I've also read half of the manga, and from my experience, the Toward the Terra anime series is the definitive way to experience the story. The anime was made in 2007, and I feel that it was a way to modernize the story of Toward the Terra, because watching the movie and reading what I read of the manga, it felt very outdated, and it was one of these series that was supposed to be in the future, and the way that they portrayed technology, it was really out of date, and you could really tell its age from that, but that wasn't really the big deal. I felt that when watching the movie, and also what I read of the manga, I felt that they captured the element of the emotions better within the anime. The story in the anime is actually different from the story of the manga and also the movie, and I feel that it's better because of this. I feel that they took the basic plot of Toward the Terra and they applied it to a lot of things that we know and a lot of things that we expect from modern anime, and like I said, I feel that it is better because of it. So this isn't a series that you'll see, okay, it's got a movie, it's got a manga to it as well. After I watch the anime, you gotta go through all that. It's not like that. You can start and finish the experience with the anime series here, 24 episodes and you're done. I really enjoyed this. So anyways, if you've seen Toward the Terra, the anime series, the movie, or if you've read the manga, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this review, please remember to like, comment, share if you feel like doing it. I really appreciate all of that. And of course, if you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.